Like I'll whip a piss missile towards them. They'll catch it like, dude, this kid can ball. Hey, do you want to play? No, I don't know what the hell happened. It just went like I swear I threw it straight, and then by the will of God, it just went left and hit Mrs. Brown right in the fucking like the shoulder and face, and she didn't even say a single word. She just pointed at the wall, and I was like, God damn it, dude. So the thing about that also is that the wall faced the basketball court, so I had to watch them play basketball while I was crying. No. Didn't get a lot of play time for the rest of third grade, we'll say, after that.
Full court press.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Full Court Mess. Today is August 19th. Not a lot of news, so we'll cover that next time. But it is me, Jared. Nathan's here. And we have very special guest, Caleb from Kill the Computer, and also on football podcast, 60-Minute Drill.
Yep.
How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for coming. So we're gonna get into. I thought it'd be fun today to do a little piece of history, as some of the other stuff we've been planning on covering is making me feel absolutely insane and not funny. So I wanted to bring things back to a very fun time in the NBA, which was the Bryan Colangelo saga. And I figured, Caleb, you'd be a perfect guest for this, as you are. Is internet brains fair to say?
Yeah, I've been online for a bit.
Yeah, I think like we can relate to the poison. So quickly, I want to get update on Enes Kanter stuff, and a reminder, we've been covering it here a little bit when we did a whole episode over at Homie Vulgaris. Check that out if you get a chance, if you want to feel insane and learn about how the CIA has gotten involved in basketball. Quick update on the Enes Kanter stuff. Let me go to his page really quick. I'm sorry, Enes Kanter Freedom. I should respect his name. I just want to update on this tweet from him. Sis, once I go number 1 pick in the 2027 WNBA draft, the first player I'm dunking on is Angel Reese. She's the Paul George of the WNBA. Just lean into the podcast already. I just want to remind everyone that Paul George is a 9-time All-Star.
Is Angel Reese woke? Is that why he's targeting her? I'm a little out of touch with this.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's. I literally think it's because she's black.
Got it.
She's kind of
awesome,
like,
dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. It just, another sign that Enes is just a right wing, figure at this point. And this matches up with him planning to run for Congress in 2028.
Well, there you go. Now we know why he's doing all this. It's the perfect conditions for like mold to grow behind your wall. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely
culture war thing. He's trying to run to do something. The guy's a nobody. It's like conservative grift through and through.
Oh yeah. God, if you knew like the whole history, oh my God, the mold's been in his walls for 10 years in the form of FBI agents.
You have been on Marcos's show.
Yeah. No, I fucking swear. I was doing research. I'm like, something starts as like, well, we have to understand where he's coming from to know like why he's a bad person. And then you find out that the FBI threw him a birthday party, like a Make-A-Wish kid.
That's so awesome, dude.
It's so sick. The whole thing was like, to be fair, like he did need FBI protection because like, his home country like did literally want him dead. But that's like perfect conditions for grooming.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Like it's it's kind of tragic, but it's also like, oh, ew.
I mean, that's kind of asset 101, right?
Exactly.
Did our tax dollars go to that birthday party?
Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah. I'm sure.
Where's Enes from? Pardon me. Sorry, I'll be the audience surrogate for people who listen to a basketball podcast and don't know basketball.
No, you're good. Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I know about this guy is that when this was going on, I Googled him. I was like, this guy didn't like he played like 3 games or something.
No, okay, so you're thinking of so that's Royce Wyas, the other guy.
Oh,
that's joined in on the grift.
Awesome.
Oh fuck it. Fuck it. Let's cover this for a second. The great thing with his grift is like so much more obvious. Somehow. Because if you look at his career, he had like 3 games listed in his career. It's like 3 or 9 games. He has more.
I did not know that there was 2 of them, dude. That's so cool.
Yeah, and guess what? This one's running for Senate. So
both of them are running for office?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's so good, dude.
It's so sick. Yeah, this guy is not a political refugee. But his grift is made so much more obvious when you see why he fell out of the league so quickly. It's because he is too afraid of flying.
That's a requirement for being in a professional league, I feel.
If you could believe that. So yeah, I'm like, buddy, like the W's they're not moving around on trains, dog.
I feel like you probably have to do that too to work in government. I imagine you have to fly a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, some senator, you don't have to show up to your office for a year.
That's true.
Or I mean, you can like die, and you still get the job. So I don't know. He didn't die. McConnell's alive, right? He's just like in vegetable condition.
It's debatable.
We'll see. I heard that he's still refusing to do it. Like, and I don't know. Again, I'm not following that. So I wasn't sure that. My thought was like, I don't know, thinking that he's actually dead. I think that he's just sort of like maimed, or I think probably he had a stroke. You know what I mean? And he's not.
That's where I'm at too. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like, I guess. What's his name? Is it Andy Bashir? Was like trying to get him to take a video again or something, and he's refusing. So I don't know.
Yeah. God bless America, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Let me check on Royce Wright. Really quick. Yeah, he's been working with Matt Getz, so this all lines up. Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
That's so sick. God. But credit to Royce White. He has worn a wig for the last 2 weeks, so he's committing a little bit more than Enes.
Okay, well, I just gotta ask, didn't the WNBA say they're gonna like come up with some sort of standard? Because ostensibly that was the ask, right? What is a woman? That's their whole thing. So the WNBA was like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. Whether they have to, prove that they're in some sort of I don't know, something or whatever. And so the whole thing is kind of like should be done, but obviously it's not about any of that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I saw, so the W's NBA, like the stance on like what who qualifies to play is you just have to be a woman, and there wasn't any like expansion on that idea, which like as we know, like that hasn't been a problem.
Yeah, it's never been an issue ever.
Yeah, like cool. I think that's like for most things, it's really all you got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been a problem, and I mean we all know it's not a problem in sports, and unless you're really wanted to have a single spot in 5th place one time. So yeah, the whole thing is like they're like infiltrating this to be like, no, you guys need to expand on this and make it way more specific, and that's why like Enes and Royce are doing this to push that, which again, let's like no one's had an issue. The W has never had an issue except for outsiders. Oh, it's like a whole again, it's another thing that like has made me feel insane as I look into it, because I'm like, okay, the people pushing into it are like guys that literally have like handlers in like right-wing agencies who have. You guys don't care about WNBA. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think Royce White cares about basketball.
Yeah. Also, my thing with it is like if they're going to draft like 2 guys who haven't played in like years, they might as well just draft anyone at that point.
Yeah.
Which they're not going to do that though, because why would they? These guys are not good at basketball.
The thing they're claiming is you enter the WNBA draft, you expect to get drafted, right? Same with the NBA draft. It's like, okay, I'm going to enter this and that someone will draft me if I'm good enough. So their claim is that, well, Enes is probably better than half the league is what they're saying. They have to draft him. And if they don't, he can sue them for discrimination. And it's like, dog, it's so normal for teams not to draft you because you're annoying.
Yeah, it's also like you can't, is he going to have to like prove in court that he is good at basketball and is better than everyone else?
Caleb, can you imagine like applying for a job and interviewing, and then like you're overqualified and you sue for discrimination because you were annoying?
I don't think I've ever been overqualified for anything, so I can't imagine that, but it must be a nice feeling.
That's also giving him too much credit, because I don't. at this point, I don't think he's over. There also, they keep claiming he'd be the tallest guy in the WNBA, and that's just like, you can just look that up. It's not true. The numbers are there. Yeah, back to what was it, Angel Reese? Yeah, she's like a right wing like target, and I think it's just because she's black and outspoken, which really sucks.
Was she beefing with Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, they have their rivalry goes back to college.
Okay, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, which by the way, I just saw a tweet earlier. Apparently a lot of Caitlin Clark, like the right wing, like the white fans, are turning on her, and I'm seeing all these tweets. They're claiming that she's been compromised by woke.
Woke got Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, woke got Caitlin Clark. It's so sick.
Was she ever like explicitly anti-woke? I think that they just
she wasn't.
She was white, right?
No, it was definitely like they just assumed like, oh, she's white and she plays in Indiana, so she's like,
yeah, dude. I kind of remember back when this was more of a thing, and again, I had a passing interest in it, like any casual sports fan. Again, for context, for anybody, like I stopped watching when the Sonics left, so in that, nothing, no shit on the WNBA, but like I know we've got the Storm here, who's had a lot of success and everything, but just my love of basketball in general just kind of died with all that. So I just haven't followed. But obviously, you're at a sports bar, something that's on TV, you start paying attention. And I remember at the time, a couple of years ago, when she was still in college and stuff, thinking, like looking at her profile, and I could be totally wrong here. Like, wait, she just seems like kind of like a normie lib.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like and I mean this in the most respectful way, but like, normie, like very basic, like doesn't really talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just like nominally, like has some. I think that a few years ago we would just call them normal opinions, but now because of everything being just atomized the way that it is, that might be considered woke or something. But yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like a kind of half constructed rivalry between her and Angel. I mean, they did like have like big matchups in college, but
yeah, I kind of remember that they got physical and stuff a little bit too. But that's just it's just sports, man.
That's just like that's sick, like
that fucking rocks.
Let them fight. But yeah, Caitlin, she's been gotten by woke. She's been compromised. The difference with Angel is like Angel's outspoken. I see Angel as like a Draymond of the WNBA, minus like the trips to Israel, as far as I know, which disheartening to know that those like Israel tours where it's like, hey, come shoot guns with us.
I do know those. Yeah,
Draymond did that shit a while ago, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, Angel's just they get on her ass because she like can't shoot, but she's like the best. She's on track to be like the best rebounder in WNBA history, and they want to talk like she's bad. At least she can defend. Enes couldn't defend. That's like the whole reason he didn't stay in the league. Anyway, that's like a whole. I mean, that's a whole other thing. I'm prepping and like have way too much research on is like some of that W stuff. But yeah, it's also like like Sophie Cunningham, like she's on the same team as Caitlin.
Yeah, I did know that, and it's unfortunate because I liked her at first when I first found out who she was, because she was the funny lady behind the pointing gif.
Yeah,
that was good for about 36 hours until she started talking. It was like, oh, actually, she sucks.
Yeah, she sucks. Did you see her? Did you see her pro colorway for Adidas?
Her what?
You'd never. She got like an Adidas colorway.
I missed that.
I mean, understandable, but
Let's pull this up.
You would never guess the colors. I'm excited for you to see this.
Oh yeah, dude! No way.
Yeah.
Does she know what she's doing? Did somebody trick her, or what is this about?
No, but it's awesome.
Is this real? No way.
It's real. Yeah, the Sophie Cunningham trans colorway.
Is it time that we transvestigate her?
Oh man.
You know what? Let me check. I bet there's at least. Let me check while we're talking. Go ahead. I have one specific transvestigator that I know was probably all over this. How old is this? So I know far back to.
I think the shoe is like just a month ago.
Okay. I know for a fact. I don't use Twitter anymore because obvious reasons, but I do have what I call my pervert Pokédex. It's a private list of people that if I need to put my finger on the pulse of something like this, exactly.
Yeah.
So I know.
I know you've been collecting for a minute.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite transvestigators. She's like the OG transvestigator.
Okay.
Bevy, the horrifying house guest. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Yeah, dude. Like the Beatles of transvestigation. I bet she's pissed about these shoes.
You have to imagine people like Sophie fans saw those and were like, Adidas is they're trying to get to her. Yeah, she's it's so sick, like the lack of thought that goes into anything these days.
Maybe she's trying to reclaim those colors.
Kind of like how like the Christians try to reclaim
the rainbow.
The rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did Sophie even get a shoe? That's my question.
She hasn't posted about Sophie Cunningham. I think I maybe need to hit her tip line.
You should feed that, and like I'd love to revisit that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm trying to find some stuff too, but no, she's not being a. Yeah. Why did she get a shoe? She sucks.
Is she not even good?
No, she I think averages 9 points a game. So that's like that's from 3 days ago. This season she's averaging 8.8 points a game. So that's 79th place in the league. 2 rebounds a game, 1 assist. Specifically though, like in the last few weeks she's been especially bad. I think because teams are actually actually targeting her for like extra defense. So she's having like 0-point game, like 3-point games. Like she's playing worse than Enes did in the NBA. Like she's bad. So I don't really know how she got a shoe other than I mean Adidas probably doesn't give a shit about politics. So maybe it's just like, oh, people will buy these. And then like you see her like I saw pictures of like her doing signings at like a shoe release, and that's like the ugliest fans possible.
Yeah, there's a picture of this like anti-trans women in sports protest that I think was in some way affiliated with her. And there's a picture of this like balding fat guy holding a sign that says "Why you know let women speak."
Oh, yeah,
that was just me.
That was you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm looking at these. Like I feel like all the guys that go there are just like my Warriors. You know?
Oh my. Yeah. Oh. It's so funny because it's like, Sophie, like, this is what you get for opening, like, the right-wing Pandora's box, you know?
She sort of tried to walk it back a little bit, too, hasn't she?
She was like last week, she was like, the WNBA press loves to talk about anything other than basketball. And it's like, dog, you brought this up.
Yeah, you did that.
You did this. So now she's like, I would like, I just want to talk about basketball. And so now what that has invited is now everyone on the other side, every time she has a bad game, they're like, Sophie scored 1 point today. Let's talk about it.
The Athletic did that the other day. It was like, oh, well, the focus has gotten off the sport. And it's like, I looked on their thing and just like searched or whatever for Sophie Cunningham. It was like in 1 week they had like 11 fucking stories about that. Like,
yeah,
you're the fucking problem, man. If you don't want it to be about that, like that's just the thing about like right wing narratives in general. Like you don't, whether it's Sophie Cunningham or the Jason Arday guy, the sociologist who committed suicide over the plagiarism allegations, that happened because the media credulously takes right-wing talking points and feels the need to engage with them ad nauseum. That wouldn't happen if they didn't participate. That's what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, it's still, you know, Sophie definitely deserves credit for bringing this into the discussion. But yeah, it's kind of like you guys have been fanning the flames. I'm trying to find the whole thing with her stemmed from an ESPN article, and then that was like months ago. It wasn't a old one, and then it kind of just got back into public eye. Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Sophie Cunningham, a women protector who. Also, did you know she was a ring girl for the UFC?
Least surprising thing I could have learned about her.
No,
like originally or like recently?
Yeah, recently. Check this out.
Oh God!
You'd never guess which fight.
It wasn't the White House fight, was it?
I think so. No.
Yeah, that was before all this happened.
Because I think that was like while the league was active.
UFC is another one that I used to love and I used to watch. We used to at my house, my ex and I, we'd host parties for everyone, but just the further right. I mean, it was always right. We can't delude ourselves into thinking it was ever like, you know what I mean. But it's just gotten so explicit that I had to stop paying attention.
Yeah. It's I feel like UFC is the thing that definitely just got taken.
It's all right. I mean, whatever. I can live without it.
I mean, I guess Yeah, it's really easy to watch people fight for free, at least. But yeah, she was like joking with Dana White. Like this was the Dana White UFC on the night of who was it? Notable woman abuser UFC fighter. So,
Conor McGregor. I mean, that's like half the fucking roster.
yeah, that is half. But yeah, it's like these people. Yeah, these people do not care about protecting.
No, they don't.
Enes Kanter does not care. Royce White definitely doesn't care because his ex has a 50-year restraining order on him.
I can't speak on behalf of trans people, of course, and I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
But I will say that my co-host on Kill the Computer, June, had a very funny tweet about this when this was going on, and I don't know that it was even a joke that all trans people would find funny, but she was like, "Fuck it, let him play. Let's just make him take estrogen, get him the biggest honkers possible, or whatever." She said it was just really funny and went viral. So maybe that's an option we can explore.
Yeah, that's there are other sports, and I think the Olympics. I think it's like a requirement in the Olympics is you have to be on was it HRTs for like a year. And I think some other sports do that. I don't remember all of them, but yeah, other sports, the requirement is just like, yeah, look, you can join, but you have to do like the
some sort of evidence that you're not doing exactly the right wing grift or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's so funny because again, just not a fucking problem until people feel like they can make a couple bucks off.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, it's not a problem. Also, I say this with all love and fairness to trans people, but like it also hasn't been a problem competitively because they're at a disadvantage. It's so hard to go through, for like people I know who have like spoken about this. Like it's so hard to go through like transitioning and like be like top like so where am I for just like top competitive shape.
Yeah.
And that is why like you don't see anyone coming in and being and like dominating women's sports. It doesn't happen. And if it did, I'd be like, sick, good for them. It's very admirable. And you fought through that. But like, again, like the most notable win is like fifth tie for fifth place with Riley Gaines.
Yeah. And I can't remember. I read a story somewhere. There's like in all the NCAA, there's like 11 trans athletes or something like that. It's like, it's just not worth the oxygen that we, that was like something that shaped the last election. It's so silly. Like,
yeah. And look, now it's shaping the next like round of elections because it's definitely like this is what Enes Kanter's using just to, get his voter points.
Yeah, or just to distract from the fact that like the president and like 30% of Congress or whatever are just like child rapists.
Yeah,
you gotta have the culture war stuff instead.
Yeah, that's like the whole other thing. It's like, okay, what do you guys? Are you guys worried about the competitiveness or like that they're coming into the league like trying to be creepy? Which is obviously that's not a thing. But I saw this post. It was I wish I remember who was a WNBA player, and she was supporting trans people in sports. And someone commented and was like, "Well, what if you had a daughter?" And she was like, "Bitch, I am the daughter." Like I'm in the league right now. I'm the woman in the league. I don't care. Anyway, let's get into the internet. Let's do
Did Sophie Cunningham date Drew Lock? Why is this a related search? Sophie Cunningham, Drew Lock. They went to college together. There's pictures of them together. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Not my goat, Drew Lock. Seattle Seahawks backup quarterback. Elite.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, I am seeing that. Huh.
It's unfortunate.
Every day we find out the goats are washed.
Well, they're not dating anymore. Maybe they broke up over disagreement over this.
Yeah, it seems like that was old. Maybe they dated in college. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, hey, everyone has a regretful like college date. If yours just happens to be Sophie Cunningham, the question is like, what did you see in her? Oh my, okay, I'm sorry. One more thing. Okay, the fucking Republicans that somehow end up on my, recommended feed on Twitter. Thank you, Elon. We're posting like Sophie Cunningham Sports Illustrated bikini pictures.
That's crazy.
And they're like, she's so beautiful. And I have to be honest, I saw those and I immediately texted my girlfriend. I was like, hey, do you want to body shame someone with me? She's not hot. Like she's guys, like a stick.
Also, if you're gonna accuse trans people of being creepy, you have to, I think, also not be creepy as well.
That's true. Okay, let's okay, so anyway, let's talk about burner accounts. Because this is funny to me, and this is just a good piece of history, and I feel like in the past, Caleb, like you and June have covered so much like people getting caught saying stupid shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
And this was interesting because I wanted to just do like a little piece of history episode here. Because there's like not a lot of news, not a lot of fun news anyway. And so I want to talk about Bryan Colangelo. What do you remember from Bryan Colangelo? Because you said you were like just
yeah.
a
So
little bit.
I had heard a little bit about something about him having like alts, and I just didn't care or look into it.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that I really know about him is that his family, I want them to die and burn in hell because they are trying to get they're like my competition for expansion cities. They're trying to get one in Vegas, and I want the Sonics back. And I know that we're probably going to get both, is what it looks like. Mm-hmm. But until then, he is a bitter rival, and I hope that they fail.
That's fair. No, that's perfectly fair. Yeah, you might be maybe relieved also to know they weren't the only one trying to get in on an expansion in Vegas. You might have heard about the Lakers acquisition of Joshua Kushner, aka what they keep calling the Good Brother, which like
friend of the show,
absolutely not. Yeah. And Bob Iger, they were actually originally wanted to get the Vegas team too, but they got impatient.
So Bob Iger is in with Jared Kushner's brother.
Yeah.
Good Lord, how the fuck? Where do they meet? Are they just hanging out?
They actually have had some joint ventures before. Joshua like has been trying to get involved with sports because he's on this whole thing of like, let's like revamp brands and fix them. As the type of rich person that wants credit for fixing things. And Bob Iger, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing with all this, but he wants in on that too. And so they've done like some smaller sports investments to try to like flip the brands and everything into to being better. And then they wanted to go on Vegas expansion, but instead they saw a quick opportunity for a Lakers sale because like the whole like Buss family that owns the Lakers are like, I don't know, they're like competing with Severance for like best financial family drama. So yeah, they wanted that, but now the Colangelos, now they have more room to work with that. Also, sorry, I know it's off track, but the Blazers, the new Blazers owner, also wanted a piece of that from what I saw. But it's really weird. It's actually much cheaper to just buy a team, tank the value, and then move them than it is to invest in an expansion team.
That's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually so much cheaper to just fuck over like a whole community.
I feel like the NBA should do something about that, probably.
Some sort of clause where you can't, like, new owners can't move the team for X amount of years or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, what they do is they do a vote with like all the owners.
Can I ask a question? Is the ownership of the NBA like the NFL, where it's like they share there's revenue sharing, so they're all kind of like invested in each other's success a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. That is the thing too. And that's also why, like, if someone just tries to move a team, most of the league will just vote yes because they don't give a shit, you know. Like there's talk of with like the whole Blazers thing, like there's talk of Austin, Texas could be a destination city if they move.
So this really is sounding like the Blazers are moving.
I think it's a 50-50 chance right now.
That sucks, dude.
This
is like learning that somebody that you went to high school with that you hated like went down a bad path, like got hooked on drugs or something. Because like I wouldn't piss on the Blazers if they were on fire back when the Sonics were around, but I wouldn't wish losing their team on them.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, we spent the last season like shitting on the Blazers because they got they got the IDF guy on their team, man. I can't support
what?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you're gonna love this.
God damn it, dude.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I knew you'd enjoy this, and by that would be tortured by it deeply. Denny Avija, have you heard that name? He's like their star player. I think he made the All-Star team this year. He had like a really big scoring jump this season, due in part to learning how to foul bait, which man, it just adds up.
We learned that directly from Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, dog! Now get this. You know what? Hold on. Let me find this. I'm gonna find this link to you. I'm not gonna say. I want you to read it yourself because I want your reaction. Let me just cut the pause out. You're gonna love this. But yeah, sorry, while I find this, he's from Israel, so he did his IDF time and all that. He doesn't. I don't like to speak too much about politics. Blah blah blah. Here I'm putting a link in this text chat if you can see it.
It's already a pretty good link.
But yeah.
X.com/Netanyahu.
Oh, dude.
You know what kills me? What kills me is the fact you are our Star of David.
Bro, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, anyone listening? Yeah, I just sent Caleb the link to the legendary Benjamin Netanyahu tweet.
Dude,
not a guy you want to be endorsed by.
No, yeah. Nathan had a Trailblazers jacket we found at the thrift and was selling it on Depop. And like it was the one thing on the Depop page that got the most lowball offers. Yeah, Portland has like this huge Israeli fan base now. For obvious reasons.
They should just move the team to Israel.
Yeah, Israel has a team. They got a few.
They got an NBA team.
Yeah, Tel Aviv Hapoel, who by the way, Tel Aviv Hapoel, their own basketball team was leaking info to the press that they were going to sign Russell Westbrook. That wasn't true. They're just making shit up, and like people believed it. But yeah, the Blazers have IDF ties, which makes it obviously like you don't want to root for them. But also, like, yeah, I don't want them to have to move. That sucks. And that really sucks for the community. It's kind of like when the Oakland A's moved, just like cheap owner coming in, tanking the value, and then telling the league, "Oh, the fans don't really like us anymore, so we have to move." But yeah, one of the destinations is like potentially Austin, Texas, which is crazy because it's like so close to San Antonio, along with other teams in Texas. And but what I was reading is that most of the league would just vote to approve it anyway, including the Spurs, because they still get revenue share. So nothing matters, and there's no point.
The NBA is like, not that it like was the perfect basketball league, but I feel like it's just getting like more and more just like shitty.
Yeah, it's weird because the way the league deals are for the players is such like a nice like system that has like actual like trickle down economics and revenue share for players, and it kind of like the union stuff is based in a lot of I don't know, a lot of good like progressive stuff, and then like the people running the league like, all right, let's partner with Kelshi now.
This is why we need a fans union.
How does that work?
I don't know yet.
Okay,
but
we'll get back to that.
Like
we think about that. Now let's get into Bryan Colangelo. Yeah, you said your base familiarity is with the family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for listeners who don't know, the Colangelo family, rich as fuck. Jerry Colangelo formerly owned the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury, multiple other sports teams. At one point, was an owner in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Rich as fuck. I think another notable thing for this story is that he was also he's also the director of USA Basketball. So that
the men's team.
Yeah,
I think I knew that. Yeah.
And so he has like a lot of influence in basketball, both within the NBA and internationally. So we get into Bryan Colangelo. His past is kind of okay. My daddy was daddy basketball, so I want to do that. And so he had a brief stint with the Phoenix Suns, and then he resigned. Interesting. With the Raptors, and then he leaves. He gets replaced by a very notable name in the league, Masai Ujiri, who did a pretty good job picking up where Colangelo left off, in my opinion. But Bryan Colangelo's been around, and then he joins the Sixers. Now, the reason he joins the Sixers, sorry, just a bit of history here. But the Sixers had this GM, Sam Hinkie. I don't know if have you heard of Sam Hinkie before?
I have not.
But I guarantee you've heard of The Process or Trust the Process.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
now the process, as I recall, was tanking the team, right?
Yeah, part of that's that's part of the process. So that was Sam Hinkie's whole thing, was like there was some great draft classes coming up, and he knew like the only way for us to get this is what if we just don't sign great players, which means now I don't know exactly how salary and like cap space works in the NFL, but is there a max that a team can spend in the NFL? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay. So
there's a max, and then there's a minimum where you have to spend like it's like 80 something percent. You can roll over a bit, but you can't. You have to spend a minimum.
Okay. So yeah. So that's and NBA very similar. But yeah, he was like they had a ton of cap space that wasn't being used, and they were not just tanking, but they were like tanking to the extent that they had like worst record ever. But Sam Hinkie's whole thing was like, hey guys, like trust the process. And that's how they get guys like Joel Embiid, who then takes on the nickname The Process. The thing with that tanking though is that it was so very blatant that the league was like, guys, you can't do this. And so they pushed the Sixers to bring in Jerry Colangelo to kind of oversee what's going on there and kind of be like, guys, let's try. So what Jerry Colangelo does is he brings in Bryan, and Sam Hinkie steps away from the team days before Bryan's hired. It seems as though they really pushed Sam Hinkie out. I'm noting all this because a couple Twitter accounts start popping up, and they start talking about Sam Hinkie and stuff. And I do want to note a lot of this was reported by The Ringer. But here's what I wanted to get into this about is, and again, another reason for bringing you here, Caleb, is there's such a fun trend of Nepo babies not being able to handle people talking about them in any way, at least not poorly. And so all these tweets, people are like, okay, so now Bryan's here. I don't like this, and this, and these posts start popping up of the same people replying. And it's stuff like, let's see, there's clown. Why? What did Hinkie build? And just replying to random fans, like arguing, in defense. Sorry, I'm
this guy wouldn't last 30 minutes as a podcaster. Let's just say that.
Absolutely not. I really love how like people want these big positions and can like it's a public facing job, man. You have to sorry, one of the tweets I just found, I have a list and I was looking for the Sam Hinkie ones, and there's a picture of a fan with Bryan Colangelo, and then another fan replies, imposter, the collar is too normal, because there's this thing people start noticing with Bryan that his collars are really large. Which let me send it.
When you search this, I'm looking right now. When you search Bryan Colangelo, like the Google auto suggestion is the first thing is collar.
Yeah, see, he got some big ass collars.
What the hell?
You see what I'm saying? And so someone said the collar's too much more normal, and then this one of the accounts that keeps popping up is from at enough known sources, but the handle is spelt wrong. Funny you notice, I had not seen big collars since he got here. So I was wondering why something wore 10 years ago was a thing.
So he got, he got caught because he was defending his big collar. Is this where we're going with this?
That's one of the reasons, yes. Oh, while we're on the collars, let me find this. The other one was
it looks like he borrowed this shirt from his dad, dude.
Yeah. I mean, he borrowed his job from his dad too. So, oh my God, why can't I find this?
There's just no reason to defend someone else's big collar. The only reason you would defend it is if it's actually you.
Yeah. What? Because here's the thing: is there's someone said this dude just loves collars, and enough known sources replies, that is a normal collar. Move on. Find a new slant. Which that's probably my favorite one of all these.
Then they did, which is that he had burner accounts.
Yeah. It's like, it's one thing to be like, I think the GM's doing a fine job on like your burners, and like sometimes fans do argue that. I think that's fairly normal. But it's another to be like, yeah, he dresses normal, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's really attractive too.
Maybe your collars are just small. I bet you didn't think of that, liberal.
I like the idea of like woke collar. I need to find this one. Sorry, I like completely lost my list. But let's see, here it is. So enough known sources, one of the tweets as a replying, and arguing and talking about the coach and one of their players, Nerlens Noel, and they said Brett Brown wanted Nerlens Noel gone. Bad for locker room. Once again, Colangelo protected the coach and got shit on for it. Shit, by the way, is censored.
He has some standards.
Yeah, yeah, and then says Bryan Colangelo is a class act, not a bad guy. And then so a quote tweeted out and said, "This you, Brian?" To which enough known sources says, "No, but thanks for the compliment. He's too classy to even engage. Worked with him. He is a class act." Who's saying that?
About the GM of the team.
Who's saying that? Yeah. So this gets caught by an anonymous source. This is where it gets interesting. Is they start seeing how like all these there's like 5 different accounts that are like really defending him in different ways. So there's enough known sources, right? We said that a lot. There's Eric Jr., which that account they accidentally left open, so we can actually scroll through that if you want. There's another account. There's so many.
What's
there's like
role with doing that is are people going to see that his collars are big and then see a reply that's like, no, they're not, and they'll be like,
you're right,
because they're actually pretty normal.
You're right. There's also an account called Still Balling. So anyway, they're all like tweeting over like a couple years in defense of this guy. And so
this wasn't a one-off thing. He's been defending himself with these. How many alts are we talking, by the way?
We're talking about like 5.
He's got a network of alts for years.
Yeah.
So fucking awesome, dude.
I love rich people, man.
You know what's so fucking like hire a PR team and they'll just do this for you. You're ostensibly, I'm assuming this guy's a billionaire, or at least a multimillionaire. I don't know what the NBA barrier to entry is here.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, fair to say, I don't think he's doing the job for money, considering his family wealth.
Exactly, dude. You can hire a fucking PR team that will astroturf on your behalf for very little money. Ask me how I know that, because I did that fucking job.
Yeah, it's it's easy. It's like, this is such an example of like just taking everything personally, which is like a very rich people sports thing for sure. So yeah, five accounts. So this anonymous source finds this, reaches out to this Sixers reporter that ends up working with the Ringer on this story, and is like, "Hey, I have a scoop for you. I found these 5 accounts. They all tweet very similar things." And then he starts saying that he works in analytics and ran these through an AI program or something like that. And this is like 2018 AI. This is like pre-gen, Rush.
Yeah. When we call it machine learning.
Yeah, ew. And so he's like, I ran all through these and it detected like very similar like vocabulary patterns and this and that, and they all follow like the same accounts. He's like, just look into these. And he didn't want to say like who he was, but he was correct on the scoop for sure.
Did we ever find out who he was? Because that's got to be just like another one of his rich guy friends that he pissed off or something.
I have a suspicion that we'll get to. I really hope I'm right on it. There's a theory. There's a theory out there. So what I'll say for now is a disgruntled ex-Sixers employee. So finds all these and they start going through them, and it's like super suspicious. And they're like not just tweeting about basketball, or not just, there's a lot about Sam Hinkie, by the way, like a lot of tweets hating on Sam Hinkie, because when Bryan Colangelo came in, everyone was still a fan of like Sam Hinkie in the process, because the process got them great players that Bryan like inherited, right? And it gets to the point where like they're trying to like stop fans, like they're trying to push away the term the process. They asked Joel Embiid to stop talking about the process. It's like hurting Bryan's feelings. To which Joel Embiid actually just ends up nicknaming himself the process, which I love, because he was like a big Hinkie guy. Fans are putting up Sam Hinkie banners at like watch parties, which I think definitely fuels like Bryan's hate. Same with like Bryan Colangelo tweeting so much about Masai, the GM that took his spot on the Raptors. And it's like, dog, what do you want, man? Like you have this job. Someone is going to replace you if you leave the job. What are you mad about?
Yeah.
Because people really like Masai, which I need to find the tweet. He calls them here we go. One of the tweets about Masai on the Raptors is they're falling apart. Nothing was done to make a better team. Coasting by on trust fund money. Dog, that's your whole life.
Like doing that.
That's your whole life.
Yeah, dude. That's weird. That's super. All of this is weird, but that's particularly kind of telling.
Yeah. So the Ringer reaches out to the Sixers and they do something really smart because they have these 5 accounts on hand, right? And what they do is they say, hey, I found these 3 accounts. Do any of these belong to Bryan Colangelo? And the Sixers get back to them and say, yeah, this one, it's at Fila 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, does belong to him. And it's like the one account follows all the same stuff, but doesn't really tweet. Said that Colangelo denies knowledge of the Eric Jr. account or any of the others. But what's interesting is, remember, they fed them 3 accounts, not all 5. And after doing that, they watched all 5 go down at once.
Interesting.
Right. So here's what happens is they keep looking through the tweets while they still can, right? And also the accounts only went private. So they still, like, if you're following them, you still have access. There's still tweets. There's some highlights still. Here's a non-basketball one. Gabriel Union tweets about Tom Brady skipping out on the White House visit when Obama was president. What has nothing to do with anything basketball,
Sure.
But, fair to talk about. Yeah. And the Eric Jr. account replies, I sat next to you and Dwayne Wade at the Beijing Olympics and saw you both being rude, nasty to a little kid fan. Had to eat your pizza, which is weird.
That's
and also
weird. Yeah.
Why is a nobody Sixers fan near them at the Beijing Olympics, except for the idea that hey, Bryan Colangelo is actually an advisor to the Olympic team because of his dad. So another dead giveaway.
Yeah, that's not very good OPSEC, dude.
Yeah. Very quickly too, I had a couple others saved, and then I want to get to a reveal, but let's see. One of my favorite one for the Eric Jr. account, which again is still up, is just a tweet to a deleted tweet. A reply, it says, sorry, not mine. Jesus died for mine. I'm okay with it. I want to know so badly what that was about.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's also a reply to a video of Steve Kerr, Warriors coach, talking about Trump's Muslim ban, in 17, the travel ban.
Yeah.
Which Steve Kerr, I don't know if you know much about Steve Kerr, but he is like ultra lib. Very outspoken about it. The Eric Jr. account replies, there's it says cons stand Trump. I think he meant can't stand Trump. But he's defending the ban. He says it's not a Muslim ban. It's vetting from the 7 countries identified by Obama's team. Buddy, what do you, why? And then other weird Trump related tweets. So the league gets back to the Ringer and it's like, yeah, this, just that one account is his. And they're like, okay, but all these went down. So the Sixers do an investigation, and a few days later, they get back and they say, yeah, only that account was his. But one of them was his wife.
Oh, God.
Which was, I think that was Enough Known Sources, which is the one who also started tweeting about a couple other players.
Was that the account that was defending his collar?
Yeah, that was also the account defending his collar. So it really adds up.
That's really sweet.
Really nice. True love.
Yeah, do not fuck with my husband's collars.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is this account and the Eric Jr. account, which Bryan claims he wasn't in control of. So that means it may have also been his wife, if not him. There's, because there is a chance he just threw her under the bus. Is that when there's conversations about a couple players on the team, like Jahlil Okafor, Eric Jr. and I think Enough Known Sources did this too, is they start saying, hey, they start replying and say, hey, someone should ask Jahlil about his failed physical and why he didn't get traded. And then start talking about how, a lot about how he did not pass his physical and how he has, health issues. That's a violate. That's like a HIPAA violation, first off, because that's like that's classified team info. Why would a nobody have that, right?
No fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah.
One of these is I want Noel Nerlens gone over Jahlil Okafor. Ja has a bad knee, but class act. Noel is a selfish punk. That's your own player, you know. There's also the whole thing with like they drafted Markelle Fultz, you know, lottery pick, great in college, comes into the league. It is as if he forgot how to shoot completely. Turns out he had straight up over the summer that they drafted him, developed a nerve issue in his shoulder, and it ruined his career instantly. But these accounts start talking about how like it's not Colangelo's fault, and it's like it's Markel's fault for not wanting to play or getting a bad trainer and stuff like that. And it's just like if this is Bryan, why are you talking about your own players like that?
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. You don't have better things to do?
And if this is his wife, it's like, dog, that means Bryan's still talking about his players like that.
Yeah.
Right. And so the whole thing was Bryan ends up defending himself, and he's like, yeah, like that's my account, it's my wife's account. I don't know about the others, but I've never done anything detrimental to this team, and I have never leaked information. And it's just like, if you come home from work and talk to your wife or husband, and you talk to your partner about like how work sucks and how you hate everyone you work with, like that's your view still, right? I highly doubt you're gonna come home and talk about like, yeah, everything's good, and then your partner's like, all these people my husband worked with sucks and they're punks. Jahlil Okafor, that guy's a fucking punk. It's like I don't see that. And then the callers thing. I kind of feel like this is an example of like, I think a partner can love you too much. I think like a partner has to be a hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get away with callers that big.
Yeah, dude. I think that your significant other should be beating your ass at least a little bit at all times.
That's what I think. Everyone needs someone like your partner has to be your like biggest hater. Like I genuinely feel that.
Mm-hmm.
If these accounts were like, yeah, his suits suck, his fits are bad, this would not have happened. I'm telling you. You would not get caught.
Your wife shouldn't ever call you a class act.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Maybe she's like upset about the collar thing because like that was a Christmas present or something, and she was like low key defending herself.
Yeah, she definitely picked them out.
Yeah.
He was definitely like, don't you think these collars are a little big?
No, honey. They're great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there's like tweets talking about Joel Embiid being selfish, getting really mad that he danced at a concert. And again, I don't know. You can't defend this. You can't. Anyway, he resigns. And this is also the summer that they were trying to recruit LeBron James, which is incredible.
Ouch. Yeah.
He does not end up joining. And it's a mess. It's like a whole mess. But I think this is like, I wanted to cover this because I think there's a growing trend in the league of team ownership and higher ups like just being so unable to take criticism.
I would argue that there's a 0% chance he's the only like sports team owner who's done this.
Yeah, he's probably just been the worst at doing it.
He's just the worst at like trying not to reply too much. So you were asking who revealed this, right? Who had the scoop?
Yeah.
So before he leaves the team, this is a couple years back, Sam Hinkie actually released a manifesto.
That's scary.
About the whole process. It's a 13-page resignation letter / manifesto. And of course this is also criticized by the Colangelo accounts. But it's a whole thing about like the analytics and what I was trying to do and this and that. So Hinkie kind of leaves the team and he kind of falls off the map. And he gets back to his roots of analytics and AI investing.
Oh, nice.
Which I mean, these days icky, but back then, all right, whatever. I feel it in my bones. I really hope it's true. And there's the theory that Sam Hinkie was the one that discovered this because,
yeah, dude.
Because when he like hit up this reporter with the scoop, he's like, he's like, yeah, I work in AI. I have these like things set up, like, and all this. Ben Dietrich, by the way.
Him. It was totally him.
It has to be, right?
There's no way it's not him. That's what I believe now.
It has to be. I want it to be. That's so bad.
Honestly, respect if it is him.
Yeah. I mean, I lost all respect now because now he like really is an AI shill. But honestly, I'll give it to him. That's so badass.
So funny. Yeah.
That's so badass to be like, you know what? Fuck you, man. Because Bryan Colangelo like definitely pushed him out. Probably bullied him out is what it sounds like.
Then continued to hate on him after.
Yeah. And you know what I found out today is a little bit before this is Colangelo couldn't stay away from like wanting like basketball control, and he's invested in an Australian basketball team. Just so sick. Dog, you have enough. Just go retire. Yeah, so the final update for the team was he resigns. His wife, Barbara Patini, admitted to establishing and operating a handful of anonymous Twitter accounts. That's so crazy. Multiple
crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of like the other like sports burners?
Not from like the executive team or ownership. You know what I mean? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant has like the most famous example of like any player having a burner account, I think.
Yeah. That one was fun until he started talking about drone investments.
Yeah. I mean, even before that, he had there's like a whole other saga of that too.
Yeah, there was early on he accidentally just replied to a tweet from his own account or from his like, public account instead of the burner, and he was talking about like how he did not like his last coach. So that was sick. And then
be careful when you're doing that.
Yeah, have you heard of the KD files?
Yeah, I mean I've heard about it. I haven't really looked into it much.
Yeah, this was like it is Gus opened it by saying like it's alleged, but it's kind of crazy. It was like he was just in the group chats with like fans. If there's one thing I'll give KD credit on is he is like a basketball sicko and like he just likes talking about basketball. I think that's valid. I'm also like when it comes to like the athletes, I think they should be able to have burners to some extent.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of pro athletes that are like normal dudes who are just really good at their job. But like there's a whole someone made a whole database of the KD files, so you could find every single message he sent about certain players, including Steph. Here's a tweet from his burner. Actually, I just dropped my blunt. Somebody just fucked one of my women. Damn. Oh well.
He's too old to be in a situation like that, I think.
Yeah, and then someone asked him in the group chat about his I don't know if you've heard about the drone investments, Caleb.
I a little bit. Is it the Anduril thing?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, investing in a drone company that ends up then working with the IDF, and people have been tweeting about it to Katie a lot, and then someone in the group message like mentioned it, and he said, "Just tell them if they need drones, we got you."
Brutal.
Yeah, come on, man. The goats are washed. I think it's like I'm trying to yeah. It kind of makes it not fun anymore to look at his leaks. But he did call his teammates crayon eaters.
That's funny.
Yeah, he hates his teammates. It's so sick.
I kind of like that.
That he hates his teammates?
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
He did say that one is just straight up the arm.
It does make him. Everyone hates their coworkers.
That's true. Let's see. Yeah, any I don't know, anything else going on what's worth bringing up right now? In anyone's opinions?
Well, there's the thing where with the Kawhi Leonard story where the NBA is like, actually nothing happened.
Yeah, but they walked that back too, actually. They said ESPN's reporting on it was false.
Oh.
I mean, it is giving like CIA saying that they investigated the CIA and found nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we have to wait on that whole thing. So I want to do that in depth later because it's a lot of weird stuff with like salary cap circumvention.
Yeah,
and it is weird, but yeah, I guess if there's one thing I want to bring up, and before we wrap, and again, Caleb, thank you for joining us for this fun little one.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of I've been deep diving again and prep for another thing, which I don't know which form it's gonna take place. But I thought the Bryan Colangelo thing was like not a good look. Have you seen any of the stuff with the James Dolan, the Knicks owner, and his like obsession with social media? Like,
I have not. No.
So I was looking into this a bit, and there's some reports that came out. So he like, if you thought it was bad that Colangelo couldn't handle criticism, James Dolan, who again like nepo baby rich man, also noted former musician. He is so like worried about criticism that he has turned Madison Square Garden into an actual like surveillance state. The moment you walk in, facial recognition tracks you to your seat.
I did read the Wired article about the facial tracking and recognition stuff. Was they asked a trans woman to leave or something like that?
So there's one specific one is they as soon as she walked in, it tracked her. They have her flagged in the system as a potential threat for no reason. She has no history of threats, no criminal history, anything like that. She's just simply on the record as a trans woman, and followed her all around. They tracked her to the bathroom. They had people like following her and watching her the whole time for no reason, and that got leaked. And yeah, there's no reason to do anything. They so what some of that reporting showed also, there's some other new reporting that showed this, is apparently James Dolan and his like security chief, they really just sit around during like these daytime hours and during games and just scroll through the Twitter feed to anyone that's criticizing him.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And then they will literally put that in the system. There was a teenager, I think they were like 14 or 15 in like fucking Colorado or something, that tweeted about James Dolan, and they reported him and tried to like get police and like local agents involved just to intimidate him. He wasn't even going to a game. There was a guy who sold like 8 sell the team shirts online, and then tried to show up to a Knicks game because he's a Knicks fan, right? All he did was like try to sell some shirts about like sell the team at like an earlier time. Later date, goes to a Knicks game, facial recognition kicks him out. He's banned. A woman tries to take her daughter to, I think it was a concert at a whole other venue owned by James Dolan. Kicked out because she works at a law firm where other lawyers are part of a lawsuit against James Dolan.
That's crazy.
But it's crazy to think like they have names like, just imagine you work for a law firm and James Dolan has gone through that law firm's like whole fucking roster somehow and has added you to a watch list. It's like, oh my God, it's been driving me crazy because yeah, they're like they leaked a list of like these potential threats, and there's like pictures of these people, and they get tracked outside the venue. Like MSG agents will track them down blocks and watch them in bars.
Fucking psychotic,
right?
Colangelo can't afford a PR team to AstroTurf on behalf of his caller.
Right. Yeah. And then you take that a whole step up, and you have like the surveillance state New York Knicks, who are like, oh, this person's trans, they're a threat. One of the threats that was leaked was like a 10-year-old child, and like on the threat list there were pictures of this kid from like the security systems. What threat does this kid have?
That's fucking crazy, man.
And so like I think it was that Wired article too, and there are some other reporters like they've been trying to get more scoops on it, and they'll like try to talk to people who work there, and they go like they'll be like 3 blocks away at a bar, and they go not here, like they're listening.
That's crazy.
Scary.
Isn't it? Yeah. And the defense, I think like James Dolan's defense was like, well, we're trying to stop terrorists. And
10-year-old child.
Yeah, yeah. Or what?
They're using the IDF rulebook.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna shoot a child in the middle of MSG. Or like, yeah, it's like, okay, well, if these people are threats, like, what is this trans woman? What what makes them a threat? And then also he's like saying like, well, we're sharing info with the NYPD for security and like, you know, local FBI. And then those like local like agencies have denied that. And then someone also raised the point of like, okay, let's say you're doing this for the FBI or for, you know, like Homeland Security. What happens when someone gets flagged walking in? That means you have to shut down the whole game.
Yeah.
I don't know. This sport is being run by fascists at this point, which is awesome.
They need to do a First Amendment audit of Madison Square Garden.
Oh my god, that'd be so sick. Let's send Marcos there.
Marcos should be an auditor, man.
Oh my god, we were talking about with that the other day. Nathan ran into an auditor like last week and pissed him off.
That's awesome. There's an auditor that is regularly about 4 or 5 blocks from my house. I don't like, it's close to the train station, but not close enough for it to be like a thing for me to hit him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to like see if I could talk to him and end up on TikTok or whatever they end up doing with it.
Oh yeah, ours has a whole like YouTube channel. I say ours like it's like the local pet, you know, like
yeah.
He has a Cameo page where he charges $17 for a cameo.
That's so awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's big. He's smart though. He's doing it at the post office. He's doing it on federal grounds, so he can't get trespassed. They're growing up in front of our eyes. They're getting smarter.
Yeah.
So one last thing. I wanted to bring up one tweet for you, Caleb, because you did say that you don't have too much basketball history, but I have found some pretty deep history on your experience. I want to see if you remember this. Was standing by myself watching other kids play basketball when the ball got loose and rolled my way. I hurriedly threw it back, missed by 15 feet, hit a teacher in the face, and spent the rest of the recess standing against the wall where they put you if you were bad while crying.
Yeah, Mrs. Brown. I do remember that, unfortunately. I nailed her too.
Yeah? Like, oh, that's so sick.
All I wanted was to be able to play basketball with the cool kids, and I felt like that was like my moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, actually, so I was not bad at basketball. Like I was a runt, but like that was one of the few sports I was pretty good at that time. And nobody would ever let me play them because whatever, I was a dork. And I'd switched classes for whatever reason, and I just didn't have any friends. So the ball comes rolling my way, and I'm thinking like, dude, yes, like I'll whip it. Like I'll whip a piss missile towards them. They'll catch it. Like, dude, this kid can ball. Hey, do you want to play? No, I don't know what the hell happened. It just went like, I swear I threw it straight, and then by the will of God, it just went left and hit Mrs. Brown right in the fucking like the shoulder and face. And she didn't even say a single word. She just pointed at the wall, and I was like, God damn it, dude. So the thing about that also is that the wall faced the basketball court, so I had to watch them play basketball while I was crying. No. Didn't get a lot of play time for the rest of third grade, we'll say, after that.
You know what's kind of crazy about that is like you just got punished for being bad at basketball.
Yeah, dude.
Not like, I love that teachers don't even think about like if you try to hit them, they're like, nah, this kid cannot ball. Go sit down.
mean, dude, like there's no way, because like I wasn't even facing her or anything, and she saw the whole thing happen. I think that she really did just punish me for being bad, like, which, in hindsight, fair. Like she had to have known it was not intentional, but just by the way that it happened and like how off it was going from the obvious, destination. But that's fair. You know what I mean? I didn't really need the playing time anyway. That's cool. It's like she knew to stop me from playing basketball because she knew I was going to be like 5'10" when I grew up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Did me a favor.
In a way, she was like your first coach.
Yeah, dude.
You got benched.
Yeah, you got your first time getting benched is like the most humbling.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up. I don't want to keep you for too long. Feel free to plug anything. Obviously, you work on Kill the Computer, and do you have any 60-minute drill coming up or?
Yeah, 60-minute drill's coming back. I don't know when our first episode is going to drop. Hopefully sometime before the regular season starts. If you don't know what that is a podcast that I do with Ed Zitron, who you may know from the show Better Offline and his newsletter, where he is very angry about tech. And then my other co-host is Arif Hassan, who is a Minnesota Vikings beat reporter. And we kind of try and do a sort of like old school Deadspin cultural analysis of football, but it ends up with a lot of shouting, because that's just the name of the game.
How football goes.
As it should be, honestly. Yeah. Well, thanks
Ed
again.
is like a Raiders fan, so if you want to hear a British guy like really talk about like in a way that makes you concerned that he might like kill himself, that's the show for you.
That's always like it's like my favorite bit. It's like because it's unintentional bit. It's genuine, but something about it is like there's a juxtaposition.
It's just very funny. Like the funniest, I think the hardest I've maybe ever laughed on any podcast is when he was describing his sort of like experience becoming a Raiders fan and as like an immigrant, and they tricked him because the tickets were so cheap. As an immigrant, he could afford to go to the Raiders.
Oh my god!
And that's why he chose them as like his team or whatever. And it was he just got fucking screwed. So he had the choice to do it. He could have picked any team, and he got screwed by the Raiders.
That's so crazy because I'm always like Nathan and I, we're from like near the Bay Area.
Yeah, you were born into it.
Yeah, and it's like I've never understood how people become a Raiders fan without being like born into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think his thing was he had immigrated or emigrated or whatever, and he ended up in the Bay Area for work when he came over here from England.
That's fair.
A British guy shouldn't even be into American football.
No, it's weird.
He's already making a mistake by doing that.
Hearing like Ed Zitron talk about like cover three is like watching a dog walk on its like back legs. It's just it doesn't sound right.
It's like I'm always welcoming anyone to root for any sport, but like I think he's the one guy that I'm like, how? Like it's wrong. It feels wrong.
Yeah.
I think he should probably stop doing that.
No, he's in way too deep.
He's in too deep now. Yeah.
All right. Thanks again, and we'll be back soon with some other deep dives and some news and stuff.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.